I hope y'all had a good weekend, a great holiday weekend. I hope some of you are still off today so you can watch me a little. I hope some of you enjoyed the weekend and the holiday break. And I'm going to tell you what we did for our 4th of July a little bit. But I hope everything is well with you. And I hope you come get some gems for a little bit. We have a few things to talk about. A few things to talk about. And oh, that's my messages coming through. I'm like, why are these coming through? Yeah. Let's do our disclaimer. Okay, our drive is on. Thank you. I am live right now. Let's go. Wait. Where is it? Got disclaimer up. Come on, disclaimer. Come on. Disclaimer. The videos presented here are for informational purposes only, and therefore, if you are to choose to attend the institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution that you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution. Speaking on behalf of Creator Henry is only speaking from his experience. Let's go. No, not let's go. Let's rock out, man. Let's rock out. Let's rock out. Let's go. Let's rock out. I like let's rock out. We gotta keep saying it, remembering it, saying it, remember it. Ooh. Only the real ones know about these days right here. Only the real ones. Only the real ones know. So, first thing first. So guys, I tried to so I did go live on 4th of July, first and foremost. Cause when we talked about it, we was talking about how in advance, if you caught some of the live screens, we were talking about how Trump was going to do a ceremony for the 4th of July because he wanted that one big beautiful bill to be on his desk by July 4th. So we didn't know for sure they was gonna have it on the desk by July 4th because all the hold up and wait up. And we went live and it took an hour for him to sign. Now, I don't think he was supposed to rent that long. If you go watch it a little bit, you'll see what I'm talking about. I was in there like I started live stream because I had some technical difficulties. For some reason, my camera wouldn't turn like this, and I didn't want y'all to watch it vertical. That would be disappointing. So I was even late to start the live stream. I get in there on waiting. They didn't even start on time. They just they got the military picnic, people on the lawn just having fun with the kids. Everybody just looking up like this. And he didn't come out till like he didn't come out till like 30 minutes in, I think. 35 minutes, him and his wife. And I'm like, y'all supposed to be punctual on time. They were not on time or punctual. So we're waiting. Then he starts talking. And then he said, I wasn't supposed to say all those names, but I said all those names. He was shouting out his administration and stuff. And so then he ran it for almost an hour. That's why I put in the description if you want to watch it. I did feel like it was a historical moment. So that's why I recorded. You could just hear the voice. Because right now we don't have the equipment right now to... we don't have the equipment right now to show you what I was looking at the whole time. So you could just hear it. So I do feel like 3 and 5 and 10 years from now, that's going to be historical depending how everything lays out. It's going to be historical if it's good. It's going to be historical if it's bad. It's a lot of changes in that bill. And so it's a lot of changes in that bill that we have to really take in because we were doing our best, right, as humans to navigate it and hope for the best in what will happen, but we can only do so much. That's why we were covering it from a higher education standpoint. Some people might cover it from a medical standpoint. Some people might cover it from a K through 12 standpoint. Some people might cover it from all different perspectives, right? And so that's like the beauty of YouTube for us. So we did record it. They didn't come on until, let me join the control room. They didn't come on until that time they came on. I put it in the description. I said, go to an hour and 12 minutes into the video. That's when they officially signed it. And they started doing this little dance I've been seeing lately. Not really on social media like that, but he started doing that little dance. And so I just hope we really take in how we can navigate going forward in higher education, because there are some changes, which is going to lead us into our conversation today. Guys, I'm be honest with you. Monday, I'm always up here on energy. As we get to like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I start declining because I'm working, I'm editing, I'm working. I was editing over the weekend. It took like all day to edit, and clip some videos. So now, I'm still working on the videos for you guys. Everything is going smooth, which is great. I hope the new time is very good, because the new time is for, like I said before, for me to catch the market in the morning, do what I need to do, if I need to do something or not do something. So with all that saying, I hope you fast forward after this 6 minutes, because now we're about to start. So first things first. I said governor of North Carolina on my paper. I changed it the last second. North Carolina lowers education need. What does that mean? So they feel, in a concise and short way to say, North Carolina feels that you don't need a bachelor's degree to do certain jobs. And so I'm going to the post now, and I thought it was interesting because it always sparks the conversation of like, hey, they're lowering it here, but if you lower the education need here, it's only here. It's not like it was a worldwide thing. If you lower it here, you say, oh, I don't need it, then you down the line in the future, I'm just giving you because I'm going to run back on this. You go down in the future, like let's just say you go like, it could be a year, but 3 years from now, you like, oh, I want to move to another state. But they're requiring you to have some type of bachelor's or master's, but your state that you in kind of want to keep you there, saying you don't need that. So I'm gonna go to the actual post. I saw it on LinkedIn. I wanted to talk about it on July 4th when we was doing the live stream, because I thought the signing was gonna take about 10 to 20 minutes. No, and yeah, sorry about that, guys, but I just wanted to live it, especially some breaking news like that, because they did have that bill done and they got it done on time. So let's go. So Joshua Steen, governor of North Carolina, he says right here, anything with higher education, I'm talking about it. Anything about bachelor, master's, doctoral, associate's degree, certificates, diplomas, it don't matter. I'm talking about it. So the governor of North Carolina, he said you shouldn't need a 4-year degree to get a good paying job and support a family. That's what he said. And then he said, thanks to the State Hiring Accessibility and Modernization Act, many more jobs with the state of North Carolina will not require a bachelor's degree. So the state of North Carolina won't require a bachelor's degree. And he said you shouldn't need a 4-year degree. Guys, they said the state. This can go so many ways. See, I wish we had a lot of people in the chat right now to talk about it, because oh man, so many ways to go. So you already know me. I'm a huge advocate on you should get your bachelor's degree. Why? Because that's something they can't take away from you. Yeah, you might struggle to get a job out the gate, or in your career, you might go through a stint where, I can't get a job. That's completely normal. People go through all the time of being laid off. For all my stock market people out there, they got down days in the market, down months and years. So they had to go pick up a job until everything comes back around. It's part of the game in life, as I like to say. it's gonna be times where your degree is not panning out and you should go get something else like a certificate. Not another degree. That's more money. Get out of my face. These gnats, fruit flies, whatever. We in Georgia. I'm in Georgia, so they bad in Georgia. And so what was I saying? See, you saw that knocked me off by saying there's gonna be a time where you're just gonna be down, pretty much, with a degree. Like everybody expects when you have a degree, watch out. Move. Everybody expects when you have a degree, that you're supposed to always have a job. Like layoffs are gonna happen. Like now, they're happening. People are going to, like I said again, my stock market people, your market's gonna be down. You're gonna be not making money really unless you bet against the market. Um, Healthcare, they have layoffs, even though they are frontline workers. Polices, they don't really have layoffs, but they have layoffs and need people. It just comes with the territory. So the state of the state of North Carolina has said that thanks to so in their state, the Hiring Accessibility and Modernization Act, a lot of jobs in North Carolina won't require a bachelor's degree, which is good for anybody who is trying to get a job and let's say you can't afford to go to school. And you see this North Carolina post that I'm talking about. I got this from LinkedIn. It was posted by the governor himself from the horse himself. And I'm going to follow him, actually. I haven't followed him. And so it's good that you like and subscribe. It's good that you really consider this, like when you're trying to navigate, like I can't go to college. Like I'm in Georgia. A lot of jobs in Georgia, for example, require a bachelor's, master's, associate's degree. Like you gotta have some type of degree or certification. Most times degree. And so if you're trying to get a job out the gate that don't require a education, pretty much, let's just say that. Go to North Carolina, for example. North Carolina, like, hey, we support you not needing a degree. But what I like to tell people, and I tell my circle, my bros, I'm like, look, you say you don't need a degree, but let's say you want to be an FBI agent in the future. Let's say you want to be a detective in the future. You gotta have a bachelor's. Usually, I have seen detective jobs that, if I just go browse, they'll be like, you need a bachelor's. I could be wrong. Police, where you at? You join this chat too. We all trying to be educated and know our stuff. But you should be a detective, FBI, officer in the military. What's another job, guys? Nurses, like a higher nurse ranking. All that stuff requires a bachelor's and above. So I feel like, because I'm gonna keep going, I'm about to look up the Accessibility and Modernization Act in North Carolina, but I just really feel like you should get your bachelor's. First, get your associates, then reach to university and get your bachelor's. Because I was a big person who wasn't. I was like, at first, I was like, you don't need a bachelor's to thrive in life. I was trying to get a certification myself, and when the jobs wasn't hiring me, it's always that back end part. When you get a certification but jobs ain't hiring you, what do you do then? And then it's like, do you really want to keep working at stores? I never really worked in the store because, guys, I'll be honest, I'm completely normal. Like I tell you, I'm normal. I tried to work a summer job. I was just coming from doing military stuff. I was trying to get a summer job before I went to Valdosta for school. I tried to be a hostess at a place called Bonefish Grill at this restaurant. I didn't last a day. Because I always had, when I first got out of school, I started working in higher education. So I'm used to sitting down. The people were rude in the restaurant. I was like, why do people talk to people like this? Because when I go to a restaurant, I don't talk to people like that. Never did. I got a mom. Very respectful mom. Very respectful dad. Who taught me you talk to all people the same. And my dad was a blue collar worker. He drove trucks before it got cool. And my mom was a daycare person. And so she real good with kids. So obviously you could tell that they didn't have the highest education levels, right? And so it was crazy how people was talking to the people who worked in the restaurant, by the way. Like that baffled me a little bit. And so as I'm looking at the Accessibility and Modernization Act, I'm gonna say in the state of California, not California. Why I keep saying California? Carolina. So See, I wish they would have put it. They didn't put it in here for one. That's another thing on LinkedIn. They didn't put the link in here, so we have to go find it. But that's what makes it fun and entertaining. When we can go find it, get something of it for the state of Carolina. Oh, right here. Right here. So it says, so I'm on the North Carolina Office of State Human Resources. So it says right here, okay, taking me to another link. But on the brief, it says on July 1, 2025, it's July 7th. Plug my laptop up because I'm notorious for my stuff dying on me in the middle of conversation. I'm notorious for that. It says on July 1, 2025, Governor Josh Stein, Stein, I'm gonna go with Stein, or Steen, Josh Steen and Stein, depending on how you pronounce it, which is right here on the post, signed the SL 2025-34 into law, taking a major step in modernizing North Carolina state human resources. This bill codifies several key changes to the North Carolina State Human Resource Act that makes the state's human resource system easier, faster, and better. These changes are effective immediately, so it was like an executive order of sort, and will allow OSHR to focus on the important work of helping state governments serve the people of North Carolina. So it says we can read the law, which I'm looking at it in my PDF right now, Adobe actually. And how many pages is it? It's 6 pages. But remember, guys, we don't have the time. You don't have the time. I don't have the time to really just sit here and read this to you all like we're in 2nd grade. So we're gonna go through the main meat and potatoes of it real quick, and then you can go look it up, because all I did was type it in on Google and it took me right to it. First link. So it says this act is to reduce the barriers to state employment and to modernize the state human resource system. And so I want to see about what they're talking about. You don't need a bachelor's degree. That's what I came for. As I zoom in. So it says right here, reducing barriers of state employment. Like I said, so in Georgia, guys, some state jobs require you to have a bachelor's. A lot of them don't really require you. Like state jobs don't require you in Georgia to have a bachelor's, but they require experience. If you like my age, once again, I'm 26. It's only so much experience you can have, right? And then they're like, oh, you gotta have XYZ experience, and you like, I'm 26. I haven't even been out of high school for 10 years yet, right? So what you can do, like and subscribe, what you can do is go to school. Your school would suffice for the experience in state jobs or federal jobs, right? So right here it says the State Human Resource Commission shall do all of the following: regularly assess the educational, spiritual. I say that word all the time, guys, but when I'm trying to flow it, doesn't go how I want. Google. Help me out. Spiritual. It's like experimental. I think that's how you say it. Experiments. Oh no, it's not an experiment. It's spiritual. It's definitely a term they use in research a lot. ESPRI. ETIL. There you go. Definition. You might hear it. It should be loud already. Experiential. Yeah, I was all off on that one, guys. I was all off. Educational, experiential, and training requirements necessary for each position within each state agency, department, and institution. That ain't really tell us nothing. So this one's a better one though. It's number 2. Determine when practical experience and training, such as military service, an apprenticeship, or a trade school education. They should say 2-year community college. I don't know why they always say trade school. Like people gonna be like, what's the trade school? Then it's gonna take you to 2-year. It's gonna take you to community college, or it's gonna take you to a 2-year technical school. But trade schools, that baffles me a little bit. So or a trade school education, rather than a 4-year college degree, is the appropriate qualification for a position. So, guys, we got to watch the game plan here. We got to watch the whole game plan. You focus on micro stuff, cool, but you got to focus on the macro a little bit sometimes first. They say focus on micro stuff, but you got to focus on macro stuff sometimes. Let me tell you why. You notice that Trump, Trump said first, look, we are going to build the workforce back up. Remember that, right? Trump said that. Like and subscribe. Trump said we want to build America's workforce back up. We want to bring manufacturing back to America. We want to make everything American, right? Now, there is no coincidence that the governor of North Carolina has passed what's this? I don't know if this is their bill. Yeah, bill. He has passed their bill to say, look, you don't have to get a 4-year degree. You can come work for the state or trade or military, some experience over education. That's the move right now. That's the trend right now Trump and them is running with. And so everybody else either has to get in line or get booted. Just like the University of Virginia president. If you ain't with it, like, hey, the Trump administration don't support DEI. They don't support none DEI. University of Virginia president was like, nah, we gonna do DEI stuff. And then he went against Trump, he got booted. Now they had some University of Virginia alumni, they got him booted, but you see what they doing. If you ain't with it, they booting you. So it's not a coincidence that they saying, look, you don't have to get a bachelor's. I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you to get your bachelor's, man. Like, you can do the trade first, do the certificate first, make your money, because I want you to take that money and go get your education so you can get a debt-free degree like that. So you gotta get your education, man. It's like unlocking like your mind, like the principle of knowing you can learn, because that's what I went to school for, how to learn, not how to do engineering or like art or chemistry. I didn't go to school for nothing like that. I went to school to literally how to learn and break down perspectives and writing. Kind of like it could fall into that communication, but I still working on my communication. But I'm telling you right now in layman terms that this is what's happening. And then it says right here, identify jobs for which the educational, like word again, what's that word? For educational, experiential and training requirements could be reduced from their present level. So if your job in the state of North Carolina, if your job requires a bachelor's, it can be reduced to associates. And we see that sometimes. I see that in Georgia all the time. Like, they'll say, look, we prefer a bachelor's, but we'll take your associate's degree. Or they'll be like, hey, you need a bachelor's, but substitute, they'll be like, your experience can substitute your bachelor's. Like, you got to read between the lines sometimes. And so I guess they were behind the curve on this. I don't live in North Carolina, so I don't know if they were behind the curve. Hopefully we get some North Carolina people up in here and they can be like, yeah, man, they were behind. It used to be mandatory. It wasn't no other option. You either had education and then you got to hope you got experience. So for all my North Carolina people out there, I hope you can come watch this video. I hope it's attracting you. I hope they're pushing this video out to you. Like and subscribe so we can get this video to you for free and talk about it, because it's going to let you know how you should navigate. You don't need to go to a 4-year out the gate. You can easily, this is another reason why you should you should start at a 2-year then bridge to a 4-year. This is a complete another reason why, because then they're telling you like, look, we're going to pay you. That's what I did. I took my money, paid my way through a 2-year, and then bridged to a 4-year, did the same thing. Now, I was at my 2-year, don't get me wrong, guys. I was a Pell Grant Hope student. But it was times when I didn't have enough credits and I had to come out of pocket. It was times when I didn't use, like right now, I don't get financial aid or hope. Not hope. I don't get Pell or hope. So guess what? I got to pay my way through graduate school right now. I got a bill right now that I need to pay. But I'm using my resources. So my bill, I only got to pay a few dollars, not that much. But take the money from your job, and if you got bills and expenses, cool, live below your means. I know you hear it a lot. What that means, no subscriptions while you're in college. So Before I talk about the last four of them, before I talk about the last four of this bill, before we go to the next segment, because I feel like by the time I get done talking about this, then the last part of the bill, we can go to talking about the big beautiful bill. So don't have all them subscriptions while you're in college. Guys, when I was in undergraduate and now in graduate school, I never just updated. Make sure I update that screen. I kid you not, had subscriptions. I don't have I have an Apple subscription right now for storage because I know I do a lot of content on my phone. And sometimes like my phone, like this, like if I wanted to do something real quick, no, I can't even download the picture or record a video for a short moment if my storage feel full. But from the time I was at my associate's degree, I didn't have no subscriptions. I didn't have no Hulu. I didn't have no Netflix. Only thing I had was a PlayStation Network subscription. You know I'm not lying now. I had a PlayStation subscription. Why? Because when I wasn't doing schoolwork, I felt like paying that subscription for the year. I never did monthly. I paid it for the year, which was like 50 some dollars. Better than going out to a bar with some people who I don't know. Better than paying countless amounts for drinks and spending hundreds of dollars. Yes, college students spend hundreds of dollars on drinks. Hundreds of dollars. Probably spend about $300 or $400 on drinks. I kid you not. I witnessed it with my own eyes recently. And it's better than doing that. Because the extra $300 or $400 can go towards your school. I don't do subscriptions. I paid off my car. I got a car in cash. I know that might be hard today with these tariffs and everything else. So please, that's why I say this is another reason why you need to start at a 2-year or work, then start a 2-year and do, let the money pay for your school. And then if your job say, oh, we'll help you with your school, that's even better. But getting a car in cash is going to be a little hard. I get that. But it's always possible to still get an affordable vehicle. And so I did that. I stayed at home with my mom. Hey guys, think about this. I was in low income Section 8. So the environment wasn't the best, but my at-home situation was pretty good. Mom wanted a little rent money, cool, and she wanted a little light bill money, cool, because guess what? It could have been a lot worse if I was on my own. So those are some steps, and we can talk about that more if y'all want to hear that more. But it's all about what we're talking about today on the live stream. But when I was in undergraduate, I kept my expenses very low because people don't know, like, they think the more money you make, the more money you got, when that's not the case. Because we hear it now today, but I was always like that when I started listening to Dave Ramsey. I was like, when I saw Dave Ramsey, that inspired me a little bit because I thought you had to have a lot of money to thrive in life, but you don't. You can make more than somebody. That's why I say I'm good with a 40, I say like guys 45 to like 55, 45 to 60K on the high end, 60K. I'm good with a salary like that if I'm working a regular 7 to 4, 8 to 5 job, because that's enough purchasing power, as I like to say, and it's enough to save up money quick and fast and still like do things that people who make a lot of money do. Because the day we live in, more money, more responsibility. And personally, I don't think it's really adequate and fair the way people are treating people today. I blame a lot of it on social media, and people have unrealistic goals. People who think they have realistic goals don't have realistic goals, and a lot of people who think they know who they are don't know who they are. How can you know who you are if you're constantly scrolling on your phone trying to be like somebody else? So that's a little bit on that, right? And it leads back to education, because why? If you trying to follow and be like somebody else and you don't know who you are, and you're just going to a school because everybody else go to that school or because a celebrity is going to that school, you're going to go down the wrong drain. You're going to be in a lot of student loan debt. Then you're going to be trying to school hop. Then you're going to come to somebody like my channel, and then you're going to say, Henry, how do I get out of student loan debt, and how do I go to a school that's affordable so I can get a associate's and bachelor's and save money in school? And then the damage has been done, right? So we want to prevent that damage before it happens. I can't stress that enough. We want to prevent it. It's the reason why this money, this fake money, is in the CTC cup. It's not in the, y'all probably gonna laugh at me. It's not in the Georgia Tech cup for a reason. It's in the CTC, the 2-year cup. The money is in that cup for a reason. Because you save money and make money at a 2-year. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. I got another partner. We did an interview. It's called Interview with Ty Lewis. He started at 2-year. He got 2 duplexes. I'm telling you, the 2-year is the move. We're going to get more 2-year people on here who can tell you how they're doing, and they started at 2-year. I'm not the only one. If I was the only one, I wouldn't be doing this right now talking to you all. I'll probably be going to school for something else. I don't know. But I'm telling you, 2-year is where people make the most money, man. I don't care what nobody say. Steve Jobs started at 2-year. He's a billionaire. His co-founder started at 2-year as well. Of course, they went to 4 years, but they didn't have money. They entrepreneurs. How you gonna have entrepreneurs don't have money? We don't have money. That's why we try to get money. We start a business to help people so we can make some type of money. We don't have money out the gate. We're entrepreneurs. So the fourth of this bill, of the North Carolina bill, feel free to fast forward, tell them to fast forward. The fourth section of it is remove language for a 4-year college degree in position descriptions. So we did get our question answered. To extent practicable. So pretty much practicability. And when they are not necessary for the position. So this is a tricky one. It says remove a bachelor's degree when it's not necessary for a job. Jobs can still do what they want. Like, think about it. I don't know. North Carolina, they got a big city. North Carolina, Charlotte and stuff. So if you're trying to work at like a company like, a Fortune 500 company. Or, did I say right? Fortune 500? Yeah, Fortune 500. I said it right that time. If you're trying to work at a Fortune 500 company, right? They probably gonna be like, no, we gonna feel like you need a bachelor's degree. We're not finna say you don't need a bachelor's degree. They gonna say, well, no, they gonna say you need a bachelor's degree. That's what they're going to say. That's what they're going to say. So, certain companies might do that, but remember they said state jobs and agency jobs, probably federal jobs. I'm not sure, but definitely state jobs in the state of North Carolina. So that's a little bit on that. If you want to go more and tell somebody about that who's in North Carolina, remember, this is North Carolina, and I will copy and paste it. If anybody wants to forward this over and grab it, I'm about to copy and paste the, where is it? Probably on the post. I'm gonna copy and paste the, I'm gonna say this part. It's all capitalized. And I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. So right here, I'm gonna put this in the chat. Tell people about it. It's in North Carolina. And we're going to the next thing. I like that. That was a good talk. I gotta make sure I spell North Carolina right for y'all. Carroll. Carolina. Yeah, I believe I spelled that right. Yeah, in North Carolina. So let's keep going. So the big beautiful bill sparks anger. Oh, the big beautiful bill sparked some anger out here. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, indeed. Yes, it did. It did spark some anger. So it's nothing new that we didn't talk about, guys. Hold on, guys. Let me go back. I like to have something on in the background, so I'm not just like. It's silent. I like to have stuff in the background, guys, because that's like my social comfort, having something on in the background. Like how some people need dogs or animals in their house. I just need something in the background. Not watching it just makes me feel better. Always been like that. My mom, I think that started with my mom. Because my mom used to always do that. And she wasn't watching the TV. She just have it on. I think I got that from her. So, arguments for the big, beautiful bill. Republicans They said, so nothing new. Like we said, nothing new. It's something new, but it's like, hey, higher education mad because they finna have to cough up that money. More of all, universities mad because they finna have to cough up that money. Universities like, man, universities like, man, this ain't right. People can't get ahead. They trying to say, nah, the universities like the kids can't get ahead. The kids finna suffer because the university saying the kids finna suffer because they finna raise the prices probably. And you already know we always gotta suffer because it's never no accountability. So you ain't never gonna hear a university say, "Oh, we messed up. We spent too much money. Now we gotta raise the prices." Nah, they just gonna raise the prices. So let's get into it. So Republicans' big beautiful bill drew, I'm just saying, attention from higher ed. It drew like anger, higher ed, right? It drew like anger. And so as it marched toward the passage last week when we did the live stream, right? That's what they're talking about, the passage. Like Trump when them was outside at the White House. It says tax hikes and spending cuts will force hard financial decisions on campuses. Once again, tax hikes and spending cuts will force hard financial decisions on campuses. Tax hikes and spending cuts will force hard financial decisions on campuses. I didn't know it was hard. I thought they should have been making hard decisions on campuses. I guess not. It says the National Association of College and University Business Officers predicted. That's what they're predicting. So the National Association of College, I need to go to their website because I need to know if the National Association of College has a website. Because that's what I do, guys. If I see something like a National Association of College, I don't think I ever been on their website. It looks like I clicked on it before. No, I don't have them bookmarked. So now I'm going to bookmark them. It says National Association of Colleges and Employers. Why? Because they're going to have research on here or something related to higher ed that we could talk about and we should know and I should know. So I just added them and bookmarked them. Then it said the university business officers. So I'm going to go to this right here as well. The university business officers. And this is what we do. This is how we beat and navigate higher education. This is how you get a debt-free degree. So the National Association of College and University Business Officers. And I don't have this bookmark. Oh, wow. It's so much information out here, guys, to know like what's going to happen in higher education before it happens. And this is why I learned in graduate school. Shout out to graduate school again. Because, you know, your boy would have been looking all over it. We don't even know where to go to get information. This is how you get the information. This is how you peek inside the minds of higher education or professionals and call them out on their bull crap. And that's why we're paving a new lane. So, and paving a new lane sometimes, boop, boop, you gotta chip your glasses a little bit and you turn, boop, boop, you know. So, lending limits. So what they're saying is like the National Association of College and University Business Officers predict there are going to be harder financial decisions on campuses, right? So they're saying lending limits could undercut the students who need the most help paying tuition. Lending limits could undercut the students who need the most help paying tuition. No. They said, and then that says the career education colleges and universities warned. No, y'all are saying that real quick. Hold on. I put that in the chat. So y'all are saying that lending limits could hurt students because you're going to raise the prices. The universities are going to raise the prices. That's why they're saying, oh, it's going to undercut the students. No, it's not going to undercut you. As a student, it's not going to undercut you. Let me be real. It's not. Why? Because you're going to start at 2-year. You're going to listen to me, and you're going to start at 2-year. You're going to get your certificate, turn your certificate into associates, and then turn your associates into bachelors. Literally, if you work your way from a certificate, that's what I did. I got a certificate in welding, which was used for my electives and my bachelor's levels. I got a certificate in welding. Then I went and got my associate's degree. Then I got my associates. I went and got my bachelor's. After I got my bachelor's, I went and got my master's. Now, am I using my welding certificate? No. Am I using my associates right now? Yes, in the form of it, I'm using it. Why? Because I went to school for human resources and general studies. I'm always using human resources. I'm always working with people. I'm talking to people in the chat. If I'm getting people in the chat asking me questions and I don't know how to talk to you, that's gonna be a problem, right? You're gonna be like, he rude. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to listen to him. So as I keep going, um, my bachelor's, what I'm doing, I went to school for liberal arts. I went to school for different perspectives. Hey, if something is not working, we need to change it. That's what I went for. And then that's where the business comes in. I didn't go to school for business, but I'm like a natural hustler per my bro group and peers. But I seen something wasn't working. I tried to bring it to higher education professionals. I tried to get them to try some things. No, they said no. Pretty much, they didn't want to listen to me. So, hey, I'm trying to do this on my own. I will do this on my own and create a new lane for kids, parents who need information. We can talk about it and create a live stream group chat of professionals, students, parents, to where they got to come to us because they like, hey, if y'all ain't talking to Henry or really trying to work with Henry and get some ideas on how to make our higher education better and affordable, we ain't listening to you. And we gonna keep going to a 2 year. Because 2 years ain't really not, granted, guys, I don't think a 2 year should raise the prices. I don't think they're gonna raise them like how universities are raising them. I would be shocked if they do. That's what I'm saying. Start at 2 year. Save that money, make that money. They saying, look, you don't get a bachelor's. Hey, bump the 4 years at this point. We don't even need y'all. In some places, they saying we don't even need a bachelor's degree. That's good. So, they just mad because they gonna have to raise their prices and then they finna go on a drought. Then they gonna have to. I really think I can really see a possibility that universities are gonna have to lower their prices. I really can see a possibility of that. I really can see a possibility of that. Love the chat, man. Love the people that stopped in. I love the people that stopped in, man. I appreciate it. Some people stopping in and listening, they gotta go. I feel it. I appreciate you stopping in, though, as always. And so it says, but there are no, oh no. They said, but there are also those who think the president signature, who think the President Trump signature legislative achievement will represent a better deal for students and taxpayers. Huh. So they think President Trump, per Chronicles of Higher Education, they think President Trump's signature will present a better deal for students and taxpayers. That's what they're saying. That's what they're trying to predict. They said one that doesn't ask too much for of colleges. That's per Preston Cooper, senior fellow at the Conservative American Enterprise Institute. Okay. They said a few notes though. We know they're making we know that the one big beautiful bill is making cuts to programs like Medicaid, food assistance. They say it will harm students. They said programs like Medicaid and food assistance will harm students and pressure state budgets that fund public institutions. They said, while that's a key consideration for colleges, we only discuss parts of the legislation that are focused on higher ed. Like I said, exactly. They're focused on higher ed. That's why I came to them for higher ed. I didn't really come for the other things like Medicaid, food assistance. But please look at the bill, guys. Go to congress.gov. I'm giving you a free game right here. Go to congress.gov. You can go see the bill or see like a pre-version of it. It's very simple to read. I'm not the most expert at reading like bills, and that's pretty much a law area. But I got a friend who is in law school. He gives me game on law. It's exactly how you see it sometimes. You might have to put it in Google. But if you don't understand a line in law or like the bill, just put it in ChatGPT or put it in on Google. We live in a time now that if you don't understand something, like me, I stumble on my words. If I don't understand my words and I stumble, I put it in on Google. You see, and I learn how to pronounce it. And that makes me a better pronunciator. So it says higher ed can no, not that part. So this is where so the controversy is with, because I was about to jump right to the do bit 3. I was about to jump way too fast to the bit 3. I can't go over that bit 3 yet. The bit 3 go crazy. So now after I went through that a little bit, I do want to go back over like here. When they say hard financial decisions on campuses, I want to know what they mean. See, that's the stuff I be wanting to know. The spending cuts will force hard financial decision. Like, what's a hard financial decision about being on campus, guys? What's so hard about that? What hard financial decision are you making about campuses that I don't know? Please, if you are a higher ed professional, come into this live stream. Tell us what is going to be a hard financial decision on campus. Your campuses are beautiful already. They're gigantic. The football stadiums, gigantic. The basketball gyms, gigantic. The whatever else, your tennis courts and everything else, gigantic. Some of you all have golf courses on your campus, gigantic. What is going on these college campuses, guys? And you know what we don't know? Because they don't want to talk to us. They don't come in these chats and they don't give us no gaming information. But all you need to know as a student, you fronting the bill. That's all you need to know as a student. You gonna pay for that bill. You gonna pay for that new gym, that new golf course, that new uniform, all them new uniforms as a student. You remember, you always gonna have to pay on the back end for it. That's what they mean by that. Talking about it's gonna be hard financial decisions on campuses. I don't understand colleges sometimes, or more universities. This makes no sense. Again, like, they're writing about it, but that was their argument about the big beautiful bill. And I love that Trump is taxing them. I love the Trump administration is taxing them because they need somebody to tax them. They need it. They need it. They need it. And so, did I see anything? Oh, so Joe Rogan. Everybody that like Joe Rogan. Before I get to the last segment, I do like to go through my social media, like LinkedIn, X, something that caught my eye over the weekend. I do like to talk about it as a sub conversation because that's what we're here for. So I'm going to it right now. And Joe Rogan is a very popular guy. So it was on a recent episode of his podcast. I did not watch it. But they said Joe Rogan called the United States student loan system a scam. So I'm going to do my part and go on YouTube right now and type in Joe Rogan talking about, it should be a clip usually, or it should be something where we can play a clip out loud. But Joe Rogan saying, I'm just typing on YouTube, Joe Rogan, talk about college. He said U.S. college, pretty much college student loans are a scam. And I just want to hear the conversation because he was talking with Joe Rogan called the United States student loan system a scam, saying it's the only debt Americans can't escape through bankruptcy. And he was joined by a comedian named Jimmy Carr. Do I know Jimmy Carr? Don't judge me. I don't think I know. And Jimmy Carr. No, I want the full episode. I want student loan. So I don't see a clip of it yet. This might be one.
Printing more money in quantity. Instead of another length. I ain't gonna lie, one rep.
Where is it?
Instead of pumping the economy by printing more money and quantitative easing, I think America and the UK should cancel all student debt because we missold.
Okay. So this is Jimmy Carr, guys. I think he's a comedian. So I'm looking at a clip right now. You see me dipping down, trying to see it because my phone is in front of my TV for a good angle. So it says Jimmy Carr. Jimmy Carr said, we sold people a Bachelor of Science degree, BS degrees. That's what he's saying. And so I'm finna play the clip. You know, this is my favorite part of my live stream. I can play clips for you. I can't show you, of course, yet, but I can play clips. And that's what I love about it. And first of all, I'm about to look up Jimmy Carr because he said he's a comedian. So I'm about to get real funny in here myself. He's Irish British comedian. So he is known to be a comedian. His occupation is comedian. It got a little darker here, didn't it? The sun moved on me. So let me turn my light on right quick. Okay, I got my light on. We back. So I'm about to play this clip, and let's do it.
Instead of pumping the economy by printing more money and quantitative easing, I think America and the UK should cancel all student debt, because we missold people some bullshit degrees, right?
100%.
And the idea that student debt, right? So you're taking those people that took a chance and they went to university and they gave their time and they studied hard. And there's a theory that woke came out of elite overproduction. So people did everything right. They went to school, they studied hard, they went to university, they studied hard, they got a degree, and then they can't buy a house. They can't, because maybe the degree doesn't grow corn. It's not in a STEM subject. It's in the humanities or something, and then they don't get the lifestyle that they worked hard for. I think we cancel their debt. I mean, I don't want to sound like a communist here, but free education is not crazy, because
It's not crazy at all.
It's an asset to your society. If
The
you say,
problem
look,
is it's a giant
universities,
subsidized business in America, at least. It's a giant subsidized business, and they're not going to let it go.
instead of pumping the economy by
And Joe Rogan said something at the end. What he said?
In America, at least. It's a giant subsidized business in America, at least. It's a giant subsidized business, and they're not going to let it go.
So, guys, if you heard that clip that I'm about to talk about, all right, got some juice out of that. Got a conversation. So Jimmy Carr said UK and USA should cancel student loan debt. They would never do that, first and foremost. So for all my people that don't know that, UK has a lot of student loan debt as well. The thing with the UK, what I seen on a glimpse, is that the UK has the caps too. Like the UK will be like how much you need for school. Like if you go to a 4-year, how much you gonna need them 4 years. On estimate, they'll let you take all the money out for that. I don't know if it's gonna be right away. I don't know if they're gonna give it to you in portions. I would hope, but they gonna put a cap on how much you need exactly for that institution you're going to if you need loans in the UK. And the USA, we already know how the USA is. We're talking about the USA. We in the USA. Jimmy Carr said they should cancel student loans. What? He's a comedian for a reason. He's a comedian for a reason. Jimmy Carr, you're funny, my guy. I like you. You're funny, but no. No. And then Joe Rogan follows up and says it's a giant business, pretty much. Like, they're not gonna do it. He said they won't let it go. Like, they're not gonna let it go. And it goes back to what I said. Jimmy Carr said that, if you heard the video, he said education is a valuable asset. It should be free to everybody. Yes, but they're not gonna do that. Why? Because it goes back to my thesis. I went to college for this. So Jimmy Carr, stay in your lane, because you're funny, my guy. You don't see me going on comedy stages and trying to be a comedian, because that's disrespectful and an insult. I'm not going on stage trying to outdo your job. Now we'll clip this, because Jimmy Carr, you're funny. You're just hilarious. That was funny. I think that was like, I guess he's one of those type of comedians who doesn't understand the way of like, I don't know who doing his business, but they're not doing very good with his business acumen, I'm assuming. So guys, it goes back to my thesis. Jimmy Carr said that, I'm on your head with this one, Jimmy. I'm on your head. Jimmy Carr said that college education should be free. And it goes back to my thesis when I said, look, my thesis. College is becoming unaffordable, which will raise the value of college, which will create a high demand for college and a need. and it's going to create also a supply need as well. I kind of wrote it all jumbled up in there, but most of all, I say college is becoming unaffordable. This man said college should be free. No, if you make college free to people, people realize, like, I feel like it's going to be a trend. If you keep watching this channel, it's going to be a higher education trend that people are going to realize that higher education is a need. It is a need, but people don't realize that now. People take it for granted right now, and I will blame social media for that. People don't realize that higher education can open your mind up. Like, we have so many creative people who never like went to college. Like, you see Jay-Z back there. He didn't go to college, but if Jay-Z would have went to college, things would have been a lot different, and we would have had a different type of creation. Like, we still do in the music area. But even deep down, like people like Jay-Z, people who don't have an education, understand that there are certain things I can't do because I don't have an education. They won't tell you that, but I'm telling you that. Money can get you far. That's a different type of power. You can have an education power, you can have an economic power, you can have a status power. There are different type of powers out there, guys. It's not just one type of power. And so Joe Rogan said they won't let it go. And it's because if you give education to everybody for free, then what I was gonna say, if you give it to everybody for free, he said it should be free. No, because if you do that, then nobody's gonna want to work for nobody. And then on the other hand, they do build you to work for people when you do go to college. That's a whole nother conversation. But if you don't go to college, guess what you're forced to do? Trade jobs. You're forced to, like, what do? I'm just gonna name jobs that don't require a degree. You're forced to. Actually, I'm gonna get into that topic because you just know that you're forced to do things that you have to do because you don't have the education to know to advance yourselves. If you go back to history and our culture, guys, as an African American, you go back to our culture. The reason we were slaves is because we didn't have education. That's a prime example right there. We didn't have education. So if I don't have education to know what I'm capable of doing, your confidence gets diminished, minimized, and you're capped at a lower level, if that makes sense. So you can't even break through your highest potential because you don't have the education to know your potential. I hope that flowed right. I hope that made sense. But Jimmy Carr is a little loose on the ends to think they're going to cancel everybody's student loan debt. It will never happen. It shouldn't happen because if you made that decision and you didn't do your homework, you didn't do your research to know you're going into student loan debt, that's your fault. Coming from a person in Section 8 in poverty, that's your fault. Because if I knew about student loan debt and what it could do to my life and I was in poverty, you have no excuse if you was at the higher tax income brackets or whatever. That's your fault. And I love that, once again, Trump and the Trump administration is bullying the universities. They need it. They always hit us hard. The universities always hurt the students and don't help the students. But Jimmy Carr, you crazy on that one, bro. All due respect, that was a crazy take. Stay in your lane. I don't know if you got an education or not. I hope you do. I hope you went to college of some sort. But canceling student loan debt? No. That was no. Boo! I don't like the answer at all. Maybe I should go on the Joe Rogan show and talk about higher education with him. We can talk about 30 minutes. I don't need an hour. I don't need 2 hours. I just need like 30 minutes. Just need like 30 minutes. Just 30, Joe. Give me 30 minutes, Joe. Hey, we got some people that came into the live screen. Appreciate you. All right, let's go to the next one. I wanted to talk about that, man. I'm going to clip that up. Talking about Jimmy Carr and Joe Rogan. I'm gonna say clip that. I'm about to write under here in my notes. Clip that. It should be a short video. I don't know if it's gonna be a short. It's gonna be short form, but I don't know if it's gonna be like a short or not. Well, I'm gonna make it into a short form video. Clip that. Should have total of 4 videos. I'm just writing some notes. That man Jimmy Carr said they should cancel all student loan debt. Why don't you do it? You're a millionaire. Why don't you get some of your billionaire friends and y'all cancel all of it? That's what I be talking about, bro. Millionaires and billionaires be saying some crazy stuff, and I'm like, why you just don't do it? because it's a problem. It's a problem, right? You don't got that much money. And like, that's not economically right for the country, for countries to do. It's a reason why certain people could get information. If he did, like I said, he need to go to college or something, read a book, pick up a book. That's basic history. Education is invaluable. Education is something that, man, don't get me started on that again. Don't even get me started. So, where we at right now? All right, perfect. So let's talk about the three. I had something else. Do I need to talk about something else that I saved in the post? Cause yeah, and then they said the two criticized how student loan debt traps young people, often without delivering the financial payoff was promised. That's what we heard in there too. But once again, it's all in that reaction we did. And so I guess that's, well, if G see this, I'd be like, oh, G, that's how we could do a reaction. We can play a clip a little bit and then just clip it up and we can do our reaction while we're in here. So, let's get to our, not our last segment, but let's get to our, what is it called? It's right in my face. The new bit 3. So I call this the new bit 3 because it's the new bit 3. First and foremost, it is. So, I need to get some water, guys. Once again, I don't know how you don't hydrate when you're talking about higher education, I don't know how you don't hydrate when you're live streaming. Like, I gotta hydrate. I just gotta hydrate. And so, higher ed can, it says higher ed can, all right, so pretty much, okay, so they said this, they said higher ed can, what is this word? Oh, they do this so much to us. They give us complicated words. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but I feel like that's how you say it, bemoan. Express discontent or sorrow over. Okay, so higher ed can bemoan this overhaul as pulling money out. Higher ed can bemoan this overhaul as pulling money out of the system. Why are you generally supportive of it? I'm so glad I went to graduate school to break this stuff down, guys, because they put stuff, like I said that at school. That's my quote. I can break down complex things based on higher ed and put it into simple terms because they make it complicated. And so they said there are 3 big changes to the student loans in this bill. We talked about these 3 big changes before. We just didn't know they were the 3 biggest. So Chronicle Higher Education is saying these are the 3 biggest to them. And I'm going over it with you, and I'm reacting, giving my perspective, giving my opinion, how you can navigate and save money on this situation. So they said the number 1 change in the bill, the one beautiful bill for higher ed, is that you have loan. They said number 1 is loan limits. They said right now, loans to graduate students and parents of undergraduate students are effectively unlimited. And they said, and the bill would put what I think are some pretty common sense caps on lending. That's what they wrote. I think it's common sense. Put some caps. They say it's common sense. I feel like it's common sense personally. Put caps on the loans. Most people, like the schools, all right, guys, I'm putting universities in a bad view right now. I'm a non-traditional thinker in higher ed. When you see universities, it's like the stock market. When you see prices down, you buy. Disclaimer, not a financial advisor. When I see universities talk about, oh, it's going to hurt the students, they're not going to be able to borrow money to pay for school. No, that's not true. We're putting a cap on because a lot of students are borrowing money in over amount of money. They're borrowing too much money and they're not really putting an estimate on it. Guys, when I break down at the end of every video, when I break down the schools, like when I do a school breakdown, I do a college review, I break down the college, usually a university, I break down their prices and I let you know if it's good prices or not good prices. And so I always do this. When I say, oh, look, they charging you $5,000 over the course of 4 years. Granted, you like $5,000 over the, like, it's cheap. Okay. So I'm gonna say 10 grand per semester. Decent price. Still kind of expensive because I will not go to a school charging me 10 grand per semester. That's 20 grand. I do 20 grand times 4. Why? Because you're supposed to be in college for 4 years. 20, 40, 60, 80. You're looking at 80 grand over the 4 years at a college, for example. Most kids are pulling out way more than that money if they need loans. They're not putting estimates. They're not being strategic. They're not trying to be financial literate. You need to not pull out all that money. You gotta say you need to not. You need to not put out all that money. So putting a cap on your loan limit is good for you as a student. How is that bad? How is it bad? How is it bad? Because you're saying, oh, you could be furthering your education. Guys, read between the lines. Come back to me, go read the bill, and tell me if they're saying, oh, you can only get $50,000 in loans to pay for school, then wow, okay, you need to go to a 2-year, then bridge to a 4-year, and you need to figure out how we're gonna pay for law school. You need to figure out how we're gonna pay for medical school. Because we ain't going to no school if we can't afford it. We not doing that. There are plenty of schools out here that offer the same thing. They offer the same thing at a very affordable cost. The biggest thing I don't understand with people, as I tap my head, the biggest thing I don't understand with people is like, oh, what they always used to say to me, you got a college degree. People always say what they always say? Oh, people who go to college, they go to a big school. Some people say you don't need I heard people say this. Oh, you don't need a college degree, but go to the most expensive school in America. What? You went to the most expensive school in America, but you don't need a college degree. Pause. That don't make no sense. You went to the most expensive school, but you're going to say you don't need a college degree. If you don't need a college degree, really, but you're trying to get an education, start at 2-year, bridge to 4-year, and get a different degree. It's that simple. That's why I'm talking about people don't know what they're talking about. If you can really I catch a lot of people in contradictions, but I just don't say nothing because, for one, I'm not trying to build a toxic fan base. I'm trying to build an organic fan base. So, but it makes no sense. Like, you got people like, what's his name? Jimmy Carr saying, look, they should cancel all the student loan debt. Why? You're a millionaire. Go get your billionaire friends or your millionaire comedian friends or whatever, and y'all can pay off our student loan debt. I don't even got student loan debt, but I'll throw myself in there just so you can pay it off. Let's go. So the second big change is to student loan repayment. So this one I didn't understand a little bit. Probably had to get somebody in here to help us, but it's saying that it pares down. So they're saying the repayment student loan system we have now is complicated. And they're saying that it's going to be now just down to 2 repayment plans. So it's saying, and a new income-driven repayment plan. That's what they're saying. And they said that income-driven repayment plan would actually include some new benefits for students, including waivers of interest. If you don't have a payment that's high enough to cover your interest, and a new principal credit to ensure that if you make on-time payments, no matter what those payments are, you will always see your balance go down over time. That's really good, guys. That's per Chronicle Higher Education. And they say Chronicles of Higher Education is considered liberal, but they're even saying that's pretty good. And so that seems pretty good. I don't know nobody who has got this yet or seen the update yet, but trust me, we will get some real life examples on it. And so they said a new principal credit, we just read that. And they say you will always see your balance go down over time. Most people don't ever see their balance go down. It's going back up. And they said at the end that the second change, it said, and this saves a lot of money to relative to the repayment plan that Biden put in place, the SAVE plan. They said this is going to save you a lot more money than the Biden plan. So I'm going to do my best to talk to people who have student loans right? And they're going through the repayment plan. They're like, yeah, they got this new option set up. It's like 2 options. So we're gonna get some real life experiences on that for my people out there who do got student loans and trying to pay them off. So I'm real eager to see how this plays out. We're a nonpartisan media outlet, so it's real good that we talk to people and get this organic. Like, I'm not gonna say I know something, guys, and I haven't went through it. Like, I don't know how borrowing loans is. Why? Because I never borrowed student loans ever. I never borrowed loans. I never borrowed loans. So I don't know how it operates. It really didn't make sense to me. That's another reason why I didn't take them out. It just didn't make sense. So the third big component, though, drum roll please. The third big component is accountability. Gosh, accountability. You don't see accountability no more, man. You don't see it no more. You don't see it no more. In higher education, you don't see it. Just being real, you don't see it. For all my people out there, appreciate the chat. Appreciate the chat. Appreciate the live screen. Appreciate the live screen. Appreciate the people coming in for a little bit, getting some gems and leaving. I appreciate it. So they said the third component is accountability. Basically, they said the bill says that if your former students are earning less, than benchmarks for most undergraduate programs, that is going to be the earnings of a comparable high. Okay, they said, I was reading. Okay, so they said basically the bill says that if your former schools are earning less than benchmarks, so for most undergraduate programs, that's going to be the earnings of a comparable high school graduate. So if you're earning less than a high school graduate, if you're, they said undergraduate program, if your undergraduate program at a university mostly, he's been targeting universities, but college in general, I believe, but most of all, undergraduate universities, if you're earning less than a high school graduate in the state where your institution is located, that program is cut off from federal student loans going forward. Now that's beautiful for real right there. That's how you deliver right there. Hey, Trump, that's how you deliver right there. I like that. Put that pressure on them. Because a lot of schools have been scamming you with programs that don't even give you a ROI return on your money. So what you got to worry about now? Now you got to worry about an institution providing fake data. But that's why we had, hopefully, this is where we got to keep now we got to talk to Trump, y'all. We got to say, hey, Trump, you got to keep the Department of Education, because we got to police these schools, because these schools can give us fake data about their programs doing this and that when it ain't. So they can keep getting this federal money. So we got to talk to Trump on that. We got to bring some ideas into him. But, so yeah, if your program is not making more than a high school, it's like, yeah, I'm going to read it one more time, because the way they worded it, I didn't like it, but I get what they're saying. They said if former schools are earning less than benchmarks, so for most undergraduate programs, that is going to be the earnings of a comparable high school graduate. If you're earning about the same as a high school graduate or less, once again, your program is cut off from federal student loans. So you won't have to worry about getting student loans. You won't have to worry about student loans if you're earning less than your program is cut off from. So you can't borrow student loans. Your program is cut off from federal student loans going forward. That basically is to ensure that the degree programs in higher education do no harm. And they said, I think these are a lot of common sense changes. I think they will make the student loan system simpler. I think they will improve the value proposition of college for a lot of students. That's what they wrote. They didn't quote nothing. I believe it's the person who wrote it, or it's like a team of them. But the person who wrote it, yeah, the person who wrote it, they said they feel like that's a lot of common sense change though. Like if your program is not earning more than a high school graduate, you're not borrowing student loans. Like no, like you setting yourself up. Like you saying, oh, like it's like this. In my terms, like in really simple terms, if you're making a high school graduate probably is going to make like fresh out of high school, like a high school graduate who just has a high school diploma, you can make around, no exaggeration, 30K to more, but I'm gonna say 30K. We're gonna give you a salary that if you got just a high school diploma, you're gonna make about 30 to 45K. They just say that 30 to 45K. And if that's what a high school graduate making, that's what you're going to make going to university. Who's saying, "Oh yeah, you do this major here, you do this major here at this university, right? We're going to ensure you're stepping in. We're going to ensure you that you're going to step into a job making what? We're going to ensure you that you're making a job making 60K or 70K or more like 80K. Like, guys, when I break down schools on the College Scorecard, I need to put that up, by the way. When I break down schools on the College Scorecard, for example, when I do that, College Scorecard, when I break down schools, some schools say you can step into making like 90 grand out the gate. But that's not true because everybody's not going to make that out the gate. They're saying like you can make that over the term, like 10 years. You can make over 90 grand or you can make under 90 grand. Everybody's major, like if you're a teacher, we all know about how teachers are in America. You're not going to make that much money. And they're telling you at certain schools, like if you go to a certain school, you're going to make a lot of money like that. Maybe if you go work private, you can make that type of money like that. But like when I work at a private K-12 school, but most of them going to work public. They pay back their student loans, the public service loan forgiveness, if I said that right. And so them putting in these cap, like, look, you can't get student loans if you don't make more than a high school graduate, or you're not if they don't meet the benchmark, the statistic pretty much, then that school can't, they shouldn't allow you to get federal student loans, federal. So that's good. That's good. It's a lot of people borrowing federal student loan money at schools. Like, this is where I say you got to know what school you're going to. If you want to be a teacher, you need to start a 2-year and bridge to a 4-year. Teachers do not get that much money out the gate, but teachers do make that money over the long term. I'm telling you, they do now. I talk to some. They make that money over the long term when they put in that time and service. But, you know, you out the gate, you took out like $100,000 and you making like, I'm telling you, they make about 40 to 50. Teacher salaries are crazy. On top of like, some of them have to pay for their own supplies sometimes, like their own money. On top of that, then they got families. You got to account for that. So I'm saying that to say these 3 big changes are dope. I think the Trump administration did pretty good with them. It keeps going a little bit though. It says right here, critics on the left are concerned that the lending limits might push students into a riskier private loans. That is true a little bit. That is a bit true. They said, I just put up a piece that shows most students are not using Grad Plus loans right now. Grad Plus right now. It's only a subset of students that are borrowing above the caps. They said it's only a subset. And those students are mostly going to extremely high cost, high tuition programs. It's only a subset that are borrowing above the caps, like Grad Plus right now and stuff. And they're going to high cost, high tuition programs. I got my hands up like this. And they're saying there are a lot of programs that are available to them where they would not need to borrow above the limits. They said the earnings accountability framework seems to be coming in an awkward time. Let's say a student made a decision 4 years ago to enroll in a computer science program with plans to become a coder. That looked like a good bet at the time. Now AI is reportedly eating away the entry-level job market for coders. We talked about that, man. Oh, dang, man. I need a buzzer up here. Obama said that in an interview at Hamilton College or University or something like that. Type in Obama interview Hamilton College or Hamilton University. Man, Obama said AI is here. Then he followed up with something like AI is here to stay. He said, guys, it's already being used. It's already like literally being used. AI is already taking coder jobs. So people who would be like, oh, I'm going to be a computer science major. People didn't listen to me when I said that. I was talking to peers. I don't think I said it on camera, but I watched this company called Palantir. I know it's very controversial. But this company, Palantir, the CEO slash founder, if he got $1 billion, listen to the billionaires. They're not talking out there. Some of them talk crazy, you know who, but they know what they're talking about. They even said we don't need that many coders at Palantir because the AI can code for you. So everybody, they just said like you're getting a computer science degree. These schools that offer computer science degrees, who charging you like a college is charging you like 6 figures to go to, like people used to go to big schools like Stanford and stuff, for example, to go do computer science. Now that's a very expensive school, right? And you don't even have to go to that big school to do computer science no more, because AI can do it. I can be a coder. I don't need to take computer science to do coding. I just need to know how to operate AI. That's the education that we talk about again. And that's literally right now, they saying that they got the link right here in the data. Right here. Saying AI is already eating away entry-level jobs for market coders. Which means if you thought you was going to make 60 to 70K out the gate as a coder or whatever, you probably going to start making about 40 to 50. And they said only like, I think Obama said like only that 1 or 2 coder will probably stay. Like they're like the best, but they're probably gonna be the ones operating the AI. So they'd be like, hey, how can you use AI to do the coding for the 10 to 20 people we had or more that we had in here that was a computer science major doing our coding and all that? Oh, well, that's simple. We can just look, gone. No job is safe. No job is safe. Just said right here, learn the code. They said AI is already erasing some entry-level coding jobs. This is posted by Matt Binder on May 28th, 2025. It's coming, guys. Whether you play this channel, you fast forward to what this part is, clip me, post it on your social media, show it to your people who thinking about going to college. Because guys, it's coming. It's here. AI is $1 trillion market. AI is going to be $1 trillion market, if not more. I said this back in 2021 when I made that investment in Palantir with AI. I wasn't even hip on AI, but I noticed I had did some homework that they were talking about AI in the 90s and 80s. It's movies on AI. It's movies on robots and AI. Realistic movies too, how it would pan out. There are people on the internet. It's a guy, he's Russian. He talks about how he projected the future to be. He's the one who wrote about I, Robot. The movie Will Smith did, he wrote about it. Now he didn't wrote about it, but he wrote a book on it and how he projected it to be. Sci-fi, we living in a sci-fi time now. Cars can drive themselves. Don't take this moment for granted. This is an opportunity time. And then we talk about, as you know me guys, I do bash entertainment a little bit. Don't get me wrong. I do love like hip hop music and stuff. But this is not the time to focus on no celebrities, no cases, none of that, man. This is a real time to get ahead. I'm 26 years old. I feel like we all about the same age and need to have these conversations. Like this is a real time right now to really change your family trajectory and make investments in anything that's financial disclaimer. I'm not a disclaimer, not a financial advisor, but you really need to have somebody in your corner. Go talk to some financial advisors and ask them like, look, man, what's AI? What's cooking? Like, so you can invest, because the next 5 to 10 years are going to be crazy. Think about it. I've been out of college for almost 5 years already. Like undergraduate. Time moves like this. So you got to really like, man, I'm telling you, don't pay attention to the distractions, man. It's just all distractions. They got the percentages in here right now. They say according to the report, recent graduates made up just 7% of hires last year at big tech companies, which is down 25% from the previous year. It's happening. Are they going to post that? No. They're not going to post it. They're not going to tell you until it's so bad they got to say something. That's just how we work. That's just how America works. It said it's not going any better at startups either, with new graduates making up just 6% of new hires, down 11% from 2023. Why you think Microsoft is having layoffs? Google's going to have layoffs when they get out of their court situations. Tech companies about to lay off more people. So if you thought you was safe, I tell people all the time, I told a high school class this. Once again, I said you're not safe when you work for a company, because they're going to have to lay you off to cut the expenses on that balance sheet. Once again, you need to know what a balance sheet is before you work for a company. If I'm going to work for a big company, I better know they're a Fortune 500 company. I better know how much they making or not making. Or you gotta have short-term goals. Like, I ain't gonna be here forever. It's real. You see how that led us down a rabbit hole? That's why I love talking about higher education. Because having a college degree really, where we at right now? Okay. Having a college degree leads into your life. That's why you pay that much money for it. Then again, or you can do what I did, started at 2 years and go to a 4 year, and you can still get all this information. Then work your way to graduate school. That's what I did. It's important. Don't let them tell you that it's not important. So as we keep going, because that's pretty much the big changes. They're talking about something else. They're talking about the House wanted stricter model that would have had colleges paying penalties if too many former students fail to pay back their loans. I feel like colleges should be penalized if students can't pay back their loans. Somebody got to take the blame. And so it said, do you prefer that to the Senate hearings evaluation that ultimately passed? They talking about something like that. I don't know why they worded it like that. I wonder what college they go to when they write like this. They say, I wish the Senate version were stronger on the accountability front. I like the House proposal because it did affect more programs, more institutions. Yeah. And now we should see more professionals, more colleges, hire people who actually go to school for higher education. I'm a person who goes to school for higher education, guys, and I can't even get a job in higher education. Tell me that shit. Oh, I almost cussed. Tell me if that makes sense. Tell me if that don't make sense. You got people in there who don't know a lick about higher education. They came from banking. They came from Google. They came from whatever. They never went to school on higher education. And they wonder why your college about to go downhill. They wonder why the university is about to fall. They about to fall. Clip me, post me. They about to fall. University's about to fall so hard, guys. Man, they gonna charge y'all probably like, because I'm about to be out. I'm just telling you how to survive and thrive in this game. These universities gonna start raising their tuition by 5 or 10%. But then they like, if we keep raising tuition, students really not gonna come. But then it's gonna get to a point where me and my friends, like real friends, I call like family. One of them, he was just here with us, spend the night. He in law school, and he said history repeats. He said college is going to get to the point. Henry, he said college is going to get to the point where only the wealthy can go. That's why I stress it a lot, guys, that you have to start at a 2 year and bridge to a 4 year, guys. That's what he's projecting. Now, we don't know guarantee it's going to get like that, but there was a time when only the wealthy could go to college. You had to have the money. It's going to be a time where that might happen again. Because once again, Trump is trying to take away the Department of Education. If you take away the Department of Education and your state doesn't care about higher education and they just let the colleges, nobody polices these universities. If the universities keep raising the cost and they're like, we get money from the wealthy, then only the wealthy can go, then we love to talk about the low income people, right? Or the middle class. The middle class and low income gonna suffer the most because then they just gonna have to be forced to work. Coming from a person who's low income, that definitely can happen. Anything's possible, guys. Stop thinking nothing will happen, because it can happen. Look, Medicaid's getting cut off now, or getting sliced, whichever one. Food stamps are supposed to get cut off now. They said that would never happen. Now it's about to happen. People don't want to accept it, but it was gonna come. I told my mama that like years ago. I was in Best Buy. Shout out to Best Buy. I was buying some equipment for content when I was finding my way in content. I was telling her and my grandma, I was like, they said blah 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 blah. They were like, they ain't never gonna do that. They ain't never gonna do that. Okay. Do what they doing. How you gonna navigate? It's gonna be harder. Yeah, it's hard for everybody. It's always a way if you really want it. Then things get easier when you get through that storm. So, they got some federal news out, guys, because we coming up on our I would love to keep going, but we coming up on 1:39, and I still have to break down the college. I like to be here for 2 hours. But really, if I run out of things to talk about, I'm not gonna hold you hostage on here because that's a waste of your time and insult to your time. You came here to get higher education. You didn't come for no day in life. You didn't come for no travel vlog. You didn't come for none of that. You came to strictly hear about higher education because you can't get that nowhere else on YouTube. And when you find something else on YouTube, you let me know because I guarantee you they're not better than me. And you tell them they can debate me if they want because I was destroying them. I went to school for it. I did it first and foremost. I did it. You see the degrees back there, and I'm gonna get my master's, and I'm gonna let y'all see it when it's over. And I went to school. And I lived it, and I went to school. So, and I worked in it. I lived it. I lived it. I went to school for it, and I worked in it. Most people just be talking. They don't know nothing about it. Come on, man. They don't want to see it. If they want to, they're going to have to go through all of that. Because I'm going to definitely call them out. So it says right here on more federal news, what's Harvard worst case budget scenario in its standoff with Trump? I really need to find somebody. If y'all know somebody, guys, please let me know in the comment section. If y'all know somebody who knows a lot more about endowment taxes, I don't know a lot about endowment taxes. I've been trying to educate myself on it slowly. Haven't really ran into people who knew about it. My financial aid specialist knows a little bit, but I really want to find some professionals who do. Like and subscribe. If you are in here watching us, we need the likes, we need to subscribe so these videos can get out and we can keep pushing out information for you guys. So, Harvard and Trump, they still going at it. It's getting real bad. It's not getting better. That's per Wall Street Journal. They're talking about billions of dollars. So, right here, they said the 8% endowment tax lost. It says loss of all federal research funding, loss of all federal student aid, and an international enrollment ban. A lot of schools like Harvard, they rely heavily on their international enrollment. That's money. Remember, I told you students are a driving mechanism for revenue. And when you hit that by doing the ban, that hurts their money, their expected revenue to come in. So they said that's a big chunk with that 8% endowment tax. They said that's a big chunk of its $6.4 billion annual operating budget. So as we know, as I said, I took accounting like 4 times. Like operating budget could be like paying instructors, paying the dining facility people, paying tutors, paying like everything you take for granted, landscaping, things you take for granted on the campus. That's what the operating money does. And it says Harvard could hold out for a while because they said given its $3 billion cash reserve. Shout out to Harvard, man. Then I tell y'all, like, investing in stocks is just like investing in, like, when I look at higher education schools, when I'm evaluating them, now guys, I don't look at their balance sheet, but when I hear things about them needing money, that's not good. Because if I'm investing in a company in the stock market and they say, oh, this company needed $500 million in cash. You don't got no cash on the side? No, you better not go to that school. That school on the verge of, hey, that school, I'm not going to say it, but that school can close down. If they not a blue chip like Harvard, my blue chips are Harvard, my blue chips are like Stanford, my blue chips are like Georgia Tech, my blue chips are like UGA. Why, Henry? These schools ain't going to go nowhere. If I see a Harvard or Ivy or something like, or UGA or something shut down, ain't no school safe. Those are my blue chip schools right there. And we're going to start seeing schools close down. We're going to keep track of that, hopefully, when they start telling us. I haven't seen nothing yet, but we got to keep that in mind. They said right here, this is more political. I don't really want to get into that right there. Due to military reasons, I can't speak on certain things, guys. Just being upfront with you. I'm only speaking on higher education related things. And so, they said blue districts see more research funding restored. So scientists in Congress, districts held by Democrats are in line to have 2.1 billion in grants reinstated. I don't know why I said reinstated. After a federal judge recently ruled that many of the Trump administration grant terminations were illegal. That dwarfs 62 million for those in Republican-held districts. Democratic attorneys general brought. So Democratic attorney generals brought the lawsuit against the terminations. Their Republican counterparts didn't join the suit. So shout out to that, man. Blue districts got their money back. Shout out to them, man. That's what it's all about. You got to fight to get what you want in life. And so some quick hits. Biomedical researchers lean heavily on AI writing. He said about 200,000 of the 1.5 million in a key database in 2024 contain words favored by chatbots. Oh, wow. Some 450 words were much more commonly used in 2024 than in prior years. Many of them unusual stylistic choices for researchers. Researchers, imagine that your biomedical researchers are leaning on AI. Who would have thought? Look at us. Who would have thought we'd be in a time where higher education is that guy? Not higher education. Biomedical researchers are using AI. See, this is what, hey man, I'm telling y'all guys, I'm really considering getting like an AI certification, like real talk. Probably one of the things I do as soon as I get out of graduate school. I'm really considering it. And it might take only once. It might not even take a semester to do. I'm really considering that. Might as well let the military pay for it, right? I'll take it, man. I love education, man. So, this is pretty good right here. If I'm not wrong, this is the school Deion Sanders coach at. Could be wrong, but I think this is it. It says University of Colorado Regent injured at the Raising Race Worries. So it's about marijuana. That has nothing to do with you as a college student, guys. That has nothing to do with y'all as college students. Besides them talking about, they talking about cannabis and all that stuff. That has nothing to do with what we talking about saving money in school. That's our focus. So I already did a review on University of Colorado. That's before I really started finding my groove, but it's a good review. I did a lot more research in that video to review the school. But let me just say this, I took a longer route when I reviewed that school when I didn't need to do all that. So I'm about to pull up the College Scorecard. So the school that I'm going to review, because we are at 1 hour and 37 minutes. G, how you been in here, man? G, man, I missed you, G. I appreciate you, man. Like and subscribe, man. G is in the building. G said, how was your weekend? My weekend was good, G. We at the end. We about to review a school. I'm finna pick one. We got a couple of them to choose from. Weekend was good. Enjoyed the weekend. Got some editing done. I'm gonna do some more when I get off this live screen. What else, G? Everything been smooth. And then G said that's because it's Colorado where weed is king. Yeah, weed is king out there. Talked to somebody not too long ago who's from Colorado. They said they get it prescribed medically. I was like, oh. He said, I'm good. G said, I'm good. Miss you too, of course. You did anything fun? We barbecued on 4th of July. After I did that live stream. After we did the live stream, we barbecued. Which that live stream took a long time, G. If you tell anybody to watch that, G, tell them to skip it to 1 hour and 12 minutes. That was too long. And G said you can do that in other states too. Yeah. And then you can do medical weed in Mississippi too. I think that's what you're talking about, Mississippi. I ain't talking about Mississippi. And so this was a good live stream, G. And when you play it back, go to the draw. We did a video. We did I played a short clip of it. I was glad they clipped it on the Joe Rogan podcast. We reviewed what Jimmy Carr said, because Jimmy Carr said something crazy. He said, I gave my review on it. I'm gonna clip it. I wrote a note down to clip it and put it in a short form video, of course. So that will come out eventually one day, but it's gonna come out soon because I'm hitting my editing pretty hard now, and finding my groove with the editing, what I'm looking for. Had to figure out how I wanted to edit these live streams so I can get the right pieces to put in short form that people will hopefully watch. And so I'm figuring it out. And Joe Rogan, he said something real at the end of it too, because Joe Rogan was like, it ain't never gonna happen, pretty much. And because this guy Jimmy Carr is a comedian, he was like, they should cancel all student loans in the UK and USA. I'm like, yeah, that's funny. And I was like, yeah, that's funny. I was like, that's funny, Jimmy. I was like, yeah, you really are a comedian. And comedians trying to talk about higher education to me is funny. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. You gotta know, you gotta have some level of intellect, right? To make these kind of decisions. Go on somewhere. Yeah, canceling all student loans never happened. Right. It's common sense. Like, never will happen. Like, that's a crazy, like, why would you even say that? And so it's just because it's popular to talk about. It is. That's why we talking about it now. That's exactly why we talking about it. We had some people stop in. They didn't say nothing. They stopped in. I had some people stop in for a little bit. I don't know who they were. They stopped in, watch it for a minute. They left, stopped in. But we got some views though. I'm always happy to have some views and people listen. And then G said, and many people want it, and these people just so happen to have student loans. No, you good, G. I appreciate that. You are good, G. Hey, you let me know you be working. When you be like, I'm too busy, or I gotta go run errands. It makes me feel good that you have a life, but you still listening. That makes me feel a lot better. That means I'm not being annoying while you're in the background. That was me stopping in. Oh, that wasn't you about 9 times, I hope. They ain't gonna give you the. Gee, we can't tell you. That was somebody else. Yeah. That was somebody else. Yeah. That was somebody else. Yeah. So the school we gonna do, y'all. I was interacting with the chat. Y'all know I like to interact with the chat. If you want to come in and talk about higher education, if you got a perspective you want to talk about, please come. We are welcome. We are waiting to talk about it. If you don't want student loans no more, come talk to us. Because I'm going to tell you now, billionaires are still sending their kids to college. Do not let the wealthy take all the education away from you. Please don't. And I feel like at this point, I'm supporting a friend, and it's nice. And it's nice background. It is nice background. All right. Where's the school? There's a lot of schools in here, actually. Where is... I'll do chat. Chat's pretty good. Peace and chicken grease, G. Appreciate you. I always appreciate G. Like and subscribe. Give me that like before you leave, G. I need that like. And guys, I'm going to chat real quick. I like to use chat as a random like ask. I like to ask chat about, hey, what college should we do, chat? And then chat be like, oh yeah, you should do this, review this school. So review this school. Not review. I don't ask chat to review. I'm like, chat, what school should I review? What college? What college should I review? Chat. Lord, why are you doing this, chat? California State. Nah, I need a Give me a random school of yours. You gotta be technical. Give me a random college of your choice. Give me a random college of your choice. Like a lotto. Oh, fun fact, guys. In Georgia, we have this thing called Hope Scholarship, guys. In Georgia, fun fact. Um, the Hope Scholarship in Georgia, you gotta have a certain GPA to use it. Just give me y'all a fun fact about Georgia. Our lotto, like when people play the lotto machine, not lotto machine, lotto. When people play lotto tickets, do lotto tickets, like trying to hit the lotto. That that actually pays for our Hope Scholarship in Georgia. I think it's real. I don't know who thought of that, but that's a great idea. That was one of the first things they taught me when I was in my 2 year college. They emphasized that like multiple times. So they was like, guys, if you ever want to do the lotto, guys, I'm advise you not to play the lotto. But it was like if you want to donate money and keep the Hope Scholarship going, it was like, yeah, you should do the lotto. You should play the lotto. And I was like, oh, that's a good way of thinking of it. Donating, playing the lotto to keep the Hope Scholarship going. So all the people that play lotto tickets out there, thank you, because you paid for my Hope Scholarship when I was in Georgia or in Georgia. So University of Vermont, that is what. So ChatGPT is funny. ChatGPT said the spinning college lotto, the random pick is University of Vermont. I hope I said that right. Vermont. I believe it's Vermont because ONT. Excuse me. Vermont. Okay, guys, pronunciation. What is Vermont? Hold on, what is it? That's the real question. They're known for syrup. They're the major producer of syrup. Didn't know that. Oh, what?
Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont. Hey, I got it right. Hey. So, let's go. University of Vermont. And guys, if you want me to review your school, your college, and let you know how I feel about them prices, and I feel like are those good prices for you, let me know. And I will do it out of the kindness of my heart. And then, where is it? This is right here. I gotta go back to my Google. Never go off the Google prices, guys. Please. Never go off the Google prices. You gotta go to the actual school website. University of Vermont. Burlington. This is Vermont. The University of Vermont and State Agriculture College is commonly referred to as University of Vermont. It's an agriculture college, so it's a land grant. Land grant research university. So if you want to grow some things, learn how to grow some things, learn about the environment of those plants and more besides plants, because sometimes they can have agriculture technology like deers and stuff, like the company Deere. How they have all that technology to keep the land and produce, like, do land work and all of that. You can learn all of that in agriculture. And so agriculture is a very important degree, guys. And normally, guys, because I play basketball and I used to follow a lot of March Madness. Actually, Ben Flake, y'all know the guy who played the accountant. He was in Good Will Hunting. He was in a lot of movies. Y'all know Ben Flake, if I say his name right. He went here. Didn't know that. And John Dewey. John Dewey went here? He's a philosopher, right? Yeah. I remember John Dewey. I actually studied John Dewey in undergraduate. I think he talks about a theory, if I'm not mistaken. I think John Dewey is a very pretty. I didn't know he went there. I'm gonna look into that when I get down, guys. Interesting. So It's crazy how everything comes back full circle. It's crazy. So University of Vermont, I'm gonna type in there tuition and fees. Hold up. First of all, let's fact check this. University of Burlington. That's Burlington? Yeah. University. It's in Burlington, Vermont. Yep, that's the school on the College Scorecard. Remember, guys, we use the U.S. Department of Education College Scorecard. We use that to fact check things. Like, usually when we start off, when I get to the tuition part of it, I go fact check the tuition on the school website. So I'm doing their tuition and fees. I don't know what the cost of living looks like in Vermont, but let's find out. But Vermont is up north, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, guys. I will have to pull out my map. I keep a map on me, guys. I'm constantly learning. I gotta keep a map on me. I've never been there. You guys, don't worry. I'm not gonna look at this right now. Well, I got it pulled up already. Let's see real quick. What Vermont is. Not finding it yet. But I know, let me see. I'm curious, where is it? Yeah, up north, for sure. It sounded like it was up north. It's bordered by Canada. It's right by Canada. New Hampshire. And yeah. So, okay. Real up north. Because I'm from the South, of course, guys. I am down by Florida and stuff. So, I should give you an insight. Okay. So, their fees increase. So if you do, they say 9 and above, you're looking at $1,000 in fees. But I'm trying to find tuition before I get started. So it's the fun part, right? Okay, perfect. I like that. So right now, let's go. We're talking about the University of Vermont. Let's do this. Graduation rate. They have a 77% graduation rate. And it's out of 100% scale. That's a C to me, because if I was in K-12 education, the way they do me, if it was an 80, it'd be a B. If it was a 90, it'd be an A. But it's a 77. That's a C. That's not a good look. The University of Vermont. Let's keep going. University of Vermont is saying, hey, look, the average annual cost if you go here. They saying like, look, the average annual cost if you go here to the University of Vermont, you're looking at $20,000 and more. That's what they're saying for a year. So that's like easily right there, guys. That's $10,000 per semester. So is that true? So right now, what I like to do, I like to go to the school website, and then I like to fact check it. And so one thing about colleges and what they like to do, universities especially, they like to hide the housing. They like to hide the meal plans. They never include it together. They're only going to give you the tuition. So what I do, I go find the housing and the meal plans. So I got the tuition in front of me. I'm going to make another tab of the school website. And then I'm going to go type in on their school website in their search bar. I go type in what? I type in housing. And then it enters. And then, of course, I have to go around the world to find their housing. Sometimes schools don't offer, some universities don't offer housing, but I have to go down this whole rabbit hole and find it. And then if I don't find it, I have to click on the school logo, all that shebang. But right now I'm on the University of Vermont. So now let me type it in again. And then I'm going to type in housing. Because usually when the College Scorecard factors that in, they're factoring like if you stay on campus and you get meal plans on top of the tuition. But I tell you not to stay on campus. Why? Because staying on campus is going to make you pay $10,000 and more, and it's going to make you really hard for you to get a debt-free degree or save a lot of money in college to start your life, start your family, and get the things you want in life. You know, like people say, "Oh, here everybody not like you." People like to some people like to what I like to say. They say, "Oh, some people like to spend things, enjoying the moment." How you gonna enjoy the moment if you ain't got no money? That's the whole reason why I'm trying to do this, guys. I'm trying to help you have something so you can enjoy stuff. If you want to spend all your money, cool. As long as you graduate debt free or close to graduating debt free, I'm okay with it. That's what I want you to do. I want you to save so much money in higher education you can laugh and say, not me though. You should go check out Speaking on Behalf. He talks about this, you know. So, as I said, I gotta go find it. As always, what are rates? What are rates? What are rates? So I'm looking for the housing right now, guys. Right now, we're not finding it. They're talking about everything else. I'm even finding transfer students. Wow. So let's type in housing rates. Oops. And the stock market is down right now. I'm looking on my computer to say S&P is down 0.60%. It's almost down 1%. And that means it's going to be bearish today. Come on, guys. Go away. Costs. Yes. See? So, guys, I got some new advice. When you're looking for housing rates, type in on the school website search bar, type in housing rates. Because I'm finding that a little more, I found it way faster. So, they said their tuition comes from the University of Vermont. All right. So the University of Vermont, where is it? Put this right next to each other. And actually, I need to do one more. What's the meal plan? I'm gonna type in meal plan rates too. School is very expensive right now, guys. So they have different plans per year. They got the per year. I'm probably gonna do per semester because the tuition, I gotta calculate the tuition myself. They only told me the tuition per credit hour. So guys, remember, when you see tuition per credit hour, I don't want you getting scared. You can come to this channel or show somebody when they got questions. So if you looking at the tuition per credit hour, right now it's saying, hey, Vermont resident, $692 per credit hour. So remember, if you're going to enroll in a 12 credit hour schedule, which is 3, 6, 9, 12, which is the per credit hour the course is offering. So if you ever been in college, you will see like in your course schedule it says 3 or it says 1, like if you're doing lab, or sometimes power going out. I see that my light flickering. That's not good. I cut it off. I hope it's not going out. Just bought that not too long ago. I'm gonna check that. So if you're doing, like I said, 3 credit hours depending on the course load, how much the credit weighs, and then it could be 1 if it's like a lab. Sometimes it could be 2 depending on the class. It could be 2 per credit hour, but keep it simple. 3, 6, 9, 12 because you're enrolling in 4 classes usually. So 12 times, it don't matter because it's multiplication. 12 times 692 is what? $8,000 per semester already. Per semester. That's in tuition alone. When I seen 692 per credit hour, I'm like, wait, is this a private school? Now I'm asking myself, is this a private school? If it's private, then that explains. If it's not, yikes. Yikes. So, University of Vermont is it doesn't say. It says it's a public land grant research university. So it's public and they charging this much. Woof. Let's keep going. So right now we're at $83.04 in tuition alone. Alone, if you want to go here. So now I'm going to do semester cost of the lowest end. I always do the lowest end of everything if I can, guys. Like right now, they're talking about their room type. Remember, room rates. Yeah. Room rates. Usually like room and board be separate, but right now they're just doing room, which is great. So they have a lot of different options, but I'm going to look for the lowest cost because, guys, I don't want you paying for the most, but just know they have a very high end. So for the lowest end on rooms, you're looking at the lowest I see right now is $3,100. That's the lowest I've seen so far. Everything else gets expensive from there. So we're going to say $3,100. So 8304 plus 3,100, that's per semester. We're at $11,000 right now on the low end. Now I'm going to include a meal plan because you got to get a meal plan when you stay on campus. And where's the low end of this? Bill by semester for a meal plan. The lowest I see is $24.46. That's the lowest I see. So plus $24.46, $13,850. That's how much you're looking at per semester. So now guess what I'm going to do? So $13,850 per semester. So now I'm going to do what? Times 2. Why? Times 2 is for what? 2 semesters. Basic math. That's all you need. Basic math. Times 2. That's $27,000 on the low end. That's $27,700 for annual year. That's our annual year. That's our sticker price. If we were to stay on campus, plus the tuition, plus the lowest end of meal plans. That's what we're looking at for the annual year. Now, we're going to do 27,700 times 4. If you graduate in 4 years, the average student graduates in what? 5 years to 6. But we're going to say you're going to graduate in 4. I'm going to hope for the best for you. So 27,700 times 4, you're looking at 111,000. Remember, guys, I said that before. If you go watch any of my old live screens and go straight to the end, it was another school that was about that same price, $111,000. So it's pretty much 111,000. I'm gonna say round it for my notes, and then round it 111,000. If you got 111,000, shout out to you. But that's a house. That's a brick house. Some of y'all probably don't know what that is right there. That's your parents. They know. So yeah, that's 111,000. Ooh. So if we go back and fact check on the college scorecard, they said we looking at 21,000 for the annual year. We got 27. We got pretty much 28,000. Somebody ain't telling the truth. So right there, I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, this school is gonna probably be my first. It's probably my first F. Cause I'm gonna keep going. So they said, like, once you go to the school, guys, you're looking at estimate. Oh yeah, they gonna be it. Yeah. So the estimate you're looking at the school at the again, if you are a financial aid student, after being 10 years removed from the school, you're looking at making 62,000. You know, they saying you can make over 62,000 or you can make under 62,000, right? Keep that in mind. You're paying about 111,000 on the low end to go here. And so graduation, we talked about graduation rate. Now there's students who return after the first year is a B. That's an 88. That's pretty good. They're staying after their first year. The average debt you're looking at is about 20,000. It's about right because you're paying about $20,000 an annual semester. Most students stay. Most students graduate in 5 or 6 years. So if you stay an extra year, you would probably gonna have an extra $20,000 or more if you paying student loans out the gate. So as we keep going, the typical earnings, we talked about typical earnings. This is very bad. This is very low again. They said the average student, the Trump administration should come get this school. Come get them, Trump. So the percentage earning, so 75% of the college students who go here earn, so 75% of the college students earn more than a high school graduate. That's a C. That's very low. Considering that you're paying about $6,000, considering that you're paying about 6 figures to go to this school. And that's on the low end. Some people probably are paying like $250,000, $250,000 to go here. And you're saying I'm only gonna make more than I have a 75% chance of earning more than a high school graduate. That's not high enough. I need 90% for sure. I need to be stepping in some bank. They said, I know they don't offer SAT and stuff. They better not. So right here they say test scores. They have a 60% acceptance rate. They need to make it higher with the way they got stuff running. And they said that they said you could take the SAT, ACT, of course, but it's not required. Why? Because schools, universities need students. That's why. And so they have a 60% acceptance rate once again. They have the SAT, ACT scores, but you don't need to worry about that because what I'm finna tell you is gonna be hilarious. What do I rate this school, guys? I rate this school an F. F. And if they want to justify why it's that expensive, they want to justify like their alumni. They only had like two alumni for sure I knew of. If they want to justify why it's worth about an Ivy League price, or a top-notch public school price, please let me know. Now I ain't do my homework to know if the University of Vermont produces like top researchers or top agriculture. I didn't do that. I didn't see that. So if they want to do an interview and they want to make their grade higher, please. But the return on investment is low to be considering, because like on the low end, I'm looking at 111 grand. That's crazy. And you're telling me after being 10 years removed, the most I could probably make best is 62 grand or less, and maybe more. That's a problem. And then the sticker price that matched the U.S. Department of Education College Scorecard. Now, granted, they probably discounted this. Like I said, the U.S. Department of Education usually assumes that you're getting some type of financial aid and they discount the price. But that's a big little chunk of a gap. So they are an F. I wouldn't even transfer here if I started a 2-year. Like, guys, I try to find schools. That's why I rate a school like a C or B, because or A, because if I go to a 2-year and I feel like Henry is rating this school an A, Henry feels like, oh, if I could transfer from here and go to this college, Henry is saying, and I'm in state, Henry is saying that this could possibly help me get a debt-free degree and save me a lot more money because this university has great and good prices, whichever term you want to use. They have good prices. B, they have some prices, but they could have been a little cheaper. C, like, look, you cutting it close. You might make it out. I don't think so. They barely passing. D, they not even passing. They just getting by. They don't get no credit, really. F, it's terrible. Don't transfer there unless you really just know, like, your return on investment is going to be so rewarding. But you cannot save a lot of money going to college or potentially earn and strive for a debt-free degree paying $111,000. Because even if you go there for 2 years and you paying $27,000 a year, because remember when I transferred, I was at my college for a year and a half. But if you transfer from your 2-year, you didn't pay nothing. Good, you like, I'm going to the University of Vermont. They charge, and you stay on campus, $27,000. I didn't even add the extra $700. $27,000 times 2, that's $54,000 in 2 years. Guys, that's crazy. $54,000 is what people make for a living. FYI me. That's how much I just made the past year about. So guys, let's be realistic here. I'm giving you organic, real honesty reviews. So they're going to be an F, and I'll make sure to put that on there. So that's all, guys. We had a great live stream. We dug in today. We got it in. And we are at 209, right on the money. And like and subscribe. Clip me up. Clip my bad parts. Clip my good parts. Post it on some social. Send it to somebody. Tell them, hey, they need to call us in for an interview. Tell them they need to come talk. Like, we'll come talk to them. We just need 10 to 15 minutes. We don't need 30. We don't need an hour. We're going to get your attention. We're going to leave. So enjoy the rest of your day. The afternoon, study. Read some books. Have fun, I guess. If you want to have fun, whichever, just stay out of trouble and be safe out here. Peace and chicken grease, as G would say. See y'all later.